Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pain Train. Continuing on with my video game environment series, here's my top 5 mountain and cliff stages and areas in video games. Hopefully this is apparent from the title, but this is my list of favorites. This is heavily influenced by my own subjectiveness and biases, but I will try to explain as thoroughly as I can why each area appeals to me. Also, I will be upfront with the fact that I am a Nintendo fanboy, and as such, most entries are going to be from those games. However, I am limiting it to one entry per series for each video, otherwise certain series would dominate these rankings. I'm going to touch on aesthetics, level design, and music. Without any further ado, let's go! At number 5, we have World 1-17 Morning Star and World 1-17X The Clock from Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy is one of the most addictive games I've ever played. It's a collection of short precision platforming stages that have an end goal but also contain optional collectibles to grab as well. Morning Star has you use the wall jump ability to travel up cliff walls, dodging 2 rotating saws and 1 stationary one, while its Dark World counterpart, The Clock, almost triples the amount of saws and adds a saw launcher on the left wall to make the easier path of Morning Star now the more difficult one. This stage is all about the tight gameplay, with the controls feeling smooth and the movement fluid. Aesthetically, you are scaling a mountainside covered in spots of green grass, and musically it offers no difference from the rest of the levels from World 1 and Dark World 1 respectively. But this stage, especially The Clock, satisfies my itch for quick precision jumping and platforming to get my blood flowing. Next at number 4 we have Rugged Ridge from Cuphead. This has quickly become one of my favorite platformers I've ever played. Its run and gun stages are tough but fair, and don't require trial and error to succeed. Rugged Ridge is a great example of that, as this mountainous stage begins with quick platforming while dodging pickaxe-throwing goats and circling balls of fire. This stage influences you to be light on your feet, whether through projectiles or the scales that will tip if you stand on them too long. That prepares you for later in the stage, where you must flee from an indestructible Cyclops while jumping to one-tile platforms, very reminiscent of the Dragon Boss from Mega Man 2. Other enemies in this stage include door barriers that spit ink at you, satyrs that flip on the stage and skip to you, little dragons that spit fire, and clay-faced monsters that will zombie stumble towards you on a smile platform. Since one of the most striking things I've noticed about Cuphead stages is how fair they are, it's hard to find a lot of things I don't like in these stages. But I didn't care for the section where you're sliding down the mountain on the platform. It's very constricting on movement, and the clay monsters can spawn right on top of you, which can be pretty irritating. To counter this, the section right after has the satyrs, and the way they flip and skip at you tickles me to no end. The music uses piano in an almost uncomfortable way, hard key presses over and over, almost mirroring the way you need to keep jumping off your feet in the beginning of the stage. It slowly brings in the cymbal and gets into the piano in a more smooth way, but it stays a very jarring and uncomfortable tune throughout, which I think is by design. It's not something I enjoy for casual listening, but I think it works very well for this stage. The gameplay carries, the music complements, and the satyrs dance. Great stage. Coming in at number 3 is 6-1 from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Typically, mountain levels are not the first environments that come to mind when I'm thinking of video game biomes, but when I think mountain, this is the first level that comes to mind. As the introduction to the mountain and cliff world of this game, it quickly introduces the mechanic of hanging from or sidling on thin rocky outcroppings as spikes throw their spike balls at you. There are even sections which require mountain climbing as you dodge between bullet bills. These two mechanics start out simple and get steadily more dangerous as the level goes on, whether through more pits, tighter spaces, or more enemies. The end of the stage has you maneuver through an absolute horde of bullet bills and spikes chucking balls at you to make you truly earn that end goal. Aesthetically, it's a brown rocky stage with mountains in the distance, so nothing extraordinary, and the music is shared with many other courses in the game, so it's not unique in that aspect either. Its strength is in its platforming challenge and layered level design. Mario games excel at taking simple concepts and bringing forth their full potential. In second place is Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2. This high altitude stage is a bit different from the typical mountain stages as it lacks the numerous bottomless pits that usually terrorize players. However, instead it has lava pits, but they aren't numerous enough to dominate the landscape. The stage goes in and out of cave areas, but the outside area has you speeding through grass-covered peaks. The stage has you change elevation often, using loops, seesaws, and unsafe vine lifts. And the cloud-covered background with mountains poking through really serve to establish the setting. Enemies include Golas, Rexons, and Spikers, but honestly the lava and the spikes do more to hinder the player than any of the badniks. The music fits perfectly with the bass and harmonica evoking a stereotypical Appalachian mountain kind of sound. I don't have any problems with this level other than a few cheap enemy placements. It's just a super solid alpine level. And number 1 goes to 2-2 Mountain Mania from Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. So as I was making this list, it became clear to me that I prefer a certain type of gameplay for mountain levels. All 5 entries on this list are in the platforming genre, and one of the very best platformers of the previous decade, yeah, that hurts to say, is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You start the level off in a valley, and using a few series of barrels, you make your way higher and higher until about a third of the way through the level, one of the peaks explodes, raining fiery rocks down that you must avoid and also take care as they destroy platforms. After the second checkpoint, you'll come to a series of collapsing platforms that you must manage your way through before they completely drop out from under you on your way to the end. Like in all Donkey Kong Country games, there are a multitude of different collectibles, and there is Rambi the Rhino ally that will help you break certain blocks to find collectibles and minigames that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Aesthetically, this course has a very dynamic background with tall mountains and wooden structures surrounded by a beautiful cloud-filled sky. The music is also upbeat and whimsical, making use of string and woodwind instruments. This stage is non-stop fun and a great microcosm of what makes this game so phenomenal. So what did you think of the list? Who did I leave off? Who shouldn't be on here? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like, subscribe, follow on various social media in the description below. Keep an eye out for more biome rankings in the future. And as always, have a blessed day.